It is the 29th of the 12th. This part of the month usually crawls because we're all broke from spending too much at Christmas. Yesterday, I went shopping to do a few little bits, and the place was dead, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What the hell?" And they said, "Oh, everybody was in on Christmas, on St. Stephen's Day, Boxing Day, whatever you call it." And that was it. So it was kind of quite. So I think people have less money this year. I live in Ireland, so we have had price increases for the last few years, and I think people are definitely feeling the effects now. Would be year three, probably going into year four. So we definitely have had an economic crisis in that way, and people have managed away, but now I think they probably are definitely battening the hatches. So I just jumped on early because yesterday I was on TikTok and I made a comment saying obesity equals fat, and it got banned from TikTok. So I was like, what? So like it's technically, am I wrong? But it got banned for being a comment of bullying and harassment. Now, it was it probably could be perceived as that, but I really do think that whoever's running TikTok is definitely a little bit oversensitive. The video was a man saying that he was upset because his doctor had said he was obese, um, and his wife said, "Oh, did she? Oh, you mean she said? Oh, you think she said you were fat?" And I said, "Obesity equals fat." So anyway, I obviously like thinking about it. Yeah, of course they knew, and maybe they were tongue in cheek. But I just anyway, the comic got banned, and then I appealed it, and it was banned again. And then I realized we live in a very sensitive culture. Well, definitely TikTok is very sensitive. I would even say it's more sensitive than YouTube. And YouTube, I have seen, that can be quite sensitive, but I haven't found YouTube to be that bad. But definitely TikTok is very kind of lefty, woke, um, and that probably reflects the culture of the organization as well. Oh, sorry, I think I need to cover that up. See, this is what women do. This is what women do. I was just about to do my makeup because I haven't really gotten up yet. I have my clothes on under this, and I have this on because it is very cold this morning, and I can't plug in my heater because I only have two plugs in this room, and I haven't one of those. I need to get one of those. The double where you can put two plugs into the little blocky thing. But an adapter or whatever they're called. But I had to unplug my heater to plug in my oversensitive printer to connect to this because I had to print something yesterday. Shock horror, and I had no ink from ever. So I had to run out. That's why I was shopping. I had to run out and get ink for the printer because I had to print it. It was for the passport office, and you have to print out the form and sign it. So I was laughing because I went everywhere to get the printer ink. I should be ordering it online, but I've only 14 days. Of course, I applied for the passport on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And then it says you only have 14 days to print this out. So then I was like, oh, shoot, no ink. There hasn't been ink in that printer for a year, I'd say 2 years. And I had to run around, couldn't get it anywhere, then had to go to a different town and managed to get it there at extreme expense. The cost of the two ink cartridges was more expensive than the actual printer. So anyway, but that's fine. I'm happy. I managed to get them. And the woman in the shop, it was done, gave me a voucher, even though I didn't have any vouchers because I don't normally shop there. But she had a whole lot of people who had donated their spare vouchers that they couldn't use. They maybe had several €10 vouchers. You can only use one, I think, at a time. And she had them recorded. She had a little pouch she took out and she gave me one of the vouchers. So I was a tenner off. So I spent what? The ink cartridges were like €60, so I got them for 50, which was absolutely lovely. How lovely people are. I would never think of doing that. So it's really lovely. I'm going to put on some lipstick. trying to make myself presentable. That's kind of as big as that. This is, I don't even know what color that is. So my comment got banned, saying that obesity equals fat. And then I was like, and then I saw another video on TikTok, just randomly, the way TikTok is, it's just like doom scrolling. But a guy said that you shouldn't call anyone fat because it's fat shaming. Well, I'm fat. I'm a little fat. Well, I'm not very fat, but I'm a little fat. I'm about, let me see. I am about, this morning I was 178. On Christmas Day, I was 181.8. So I'm 178 today. I've been doing keto since the start of Boxing Day, so it's Tuesday. So I am supposed to be 154, which is actually a little bit too skinny. I've been down to 154. I've been down to 140, but I've been down to 154. It kind of feels a little bit unhealthy. I'm kind of happiest around 162 to 168. So I am currently at least 10 pounds overweight, if not more, for feeling healthy. I know it's weird. Before I did keto and I did other diets, I would have never been happy with 162 to 168. But since keto just makes you so happy, it makes you so happy. It makes you so satisfied. It makes you so, you say, well, how did I live before? How did I live before? And I'm not fooling you. I'm not tricking you. It's true. It's real. You also have a lot more confidence, innate confidence, INATE, innate confidence, which is astounding. I mean, I come from quite a stressed out childhood. I would never have thought that I would ever have any kind of confidence. But honestly, the ketogenic diet, it just makes you into a proper human. A proper human. I cannot say it's indescribable, because I had never experienced it before, and I've been on many different diets. Well, two big ones, but many different, bits and pieces over the years between this and that and this. It's astounding the level of confidence I feel. And like I said, I spent 2, 3, 4 weeks going into Christmas drinking, eating carbs, doing this, that, and the other thing. On the 26th, then I made a video, and I made a second video saying about the carb depression, the post-carb depression, which is real. You will feel a kind of a depression, post-carb depression, after coming out of, that's my lipstick, by the way, after coming out of carbs. That's just normal stuff. Your blood sugar is dropping. Of course you're going to feel kind of a bit, crap. And I have a CGM now. I put it on at about 5 p.m. I am the most boring person on the planet, according to this CGM. The most boring person. Sorry, look, I do not deviate. See the ones where it's dropped, see the main part of the line. That's me being so boring. I'm averaging 5.5. I'm averaging 5.5. I mean, talk about boring. Talk about boring. I have not, and this is because I have eaten no carbs. But have you noticed something? My blood sugar level maintains itself. I have a 98% of my time since the 26th, the start of 26th, is being in the range, the proper range that a human should be in. Now, you might say this is slightly high. 5.5 is around 99. It would be considered to be on the edge of diabetes. However, people who are on long-term ketogenic diet tend to have a very slightly higher than average, slightly higher than average blood sugar level. Now, why is that? My body is taking food out of storage from my liver. My liver probably has run out at this stage of the glycogen. So that's the short-term sugar that's stored from things like alcohol, carbs, fructose, that kind of stuff. So That's the fast sugar. It's stored in your muscles, it's stored in your liver. If you have too much in your liver, it's stored in your muscles. So all my glycogen would probably have run out by now. And then it starts taking my fat out of my storage, which is now why I'm down to 178 pounds and I was 181.8. Part of that, of course, is water, because for every particle of fat you store a particle of water. So that's why we pee so much when we're dieting. So now my body is using up my internal fat. So always it's the liver fat first when you're on the keto diet. So maybe not in other diets, but I don't know what happens, what the chemical process, but the chemical process always starts with the most important organ first. So we take that fat out first, or glycogen. It's not a fat, it's like stored sugar, stored glucose. So that's being taken out first and put into the blood. So you can see there that my body on the ketogenic diet, even though I'm not eating any glucose, any carbs, it regulates my blood sugar to stay back. I mean, it's so stable. It only dropped during the middle of the night last night, and then today, just before I got up, my blood sugar went down, and I think that's probably why I woke up. It was almost exactly at the time. So it's telling you to do something. So my blood sugar has been really, really stable, and it's telling you to do something. So it's really, really interesting. Really, really interesting that this would be the case, that when you're on the ketogenic diet a while. So my body takes the fat out of the storage, unfortunately not fast enough for my arms, so it must be taken out. It'll take it out of the visceral fat first. That's the fat that's in your cavity that has come from you overeating carbs, your liver getting overflowed with liver fat, and then it flows out in between your organs. So that's why it's very disappointing at the beginning of your dieting, especially on a ketogenic diet, where you don't see any change. You don't see any physical change. You keep checking something happening. But eventually, it's the subcutaneous fat, which is this fat under my skin, that will eventually start to be used. If I stay on the ketogenic diet long enough, that will eventually start to be used to make ketones and glucose. There's this myth that we're only making ketones, that the brain prefers ketones. No, the fat will be turned into ketones and glucose. The glucose will be used for your brain. Your brain prefers glucose and likes to use some ketones as well. So and you will feel so sharp and healthy and confident and just good about yourself. Like, I'm carrying maybe 10, 15, 20 pounds extra than I should. I feel amazing. I feel extremely confident. So, and I'm having my coffee with cream, and I'm doing my makeup on the hoof. Next, I must use some of this. Is like a highlighter. So it's like gold paint. I always feel like gold finger. You know that 007. See those? So look at that. That's nice. Oh, I gotta do the. Oh, this is so hard. Do a bit of, when your hair gets stuck in, especially when you're blonde hair, and then you go and you have it gets stuck in your hair. Now, I'm sorry about the frizz, but this is, I am frizz girl. I don't have curls, I don't have straight hair, I have frizz, but I love it. I kind of like it. This is like the morning hair. Have a lovely day, guys. I'll talk to you later. I will be making another video, but for now, I was banned on TikTok.